Hello everybody, welcome to Livestream recap video. Hope you're doing well. So if you don't know, these type of videos, we're going to have a look at the live stream. I put in the description down below a little write-up, but also we'll be showing visually some of the things that are mentioned on the stream and try and do it in a very kind of, short space of time, especially because the live stream is long. So we have to make it as quick as possible to let you know what the full ins and outs of it. One of the big talking points is Battlegrounds Season 19, which sees a lot of changes. It was really cool to learn that it will take roughly, according to Kabam, less than half the number of battles to process, depending on where you're at in the game. If you're highly skilled in Battlegrounds or do very well and have a high win rate, then of course it's going to take less time to achieve. By some calculations that I had, I thought it was 57 wins in succession. Like you have to have 57 wins in order to get up into a season, but I don't know if it's exactly the case, because if you lose in any of them, you do get like -1 for losing. So yeah, I don't know if that kind of like doesn't feel too bad or too good or something, but at least you feel like you might progress better with things like that. There's also magnetron crystals in the objectives. I think we all knew that. It was interesting as well because they said that they spoke to DNA 3000 about his kind of like how he lined up the processing and the model for kind of getting into the gladiator circuit, and it felt like I think things didn't align, so I think there might be more on that soon. Apparently there is a better amount of trophy tokens to get. The vast majority of summoners will be better off, faster to climb for most, easier to climb for most. We'll have to see. The proof is always in the pudding, as I always say when it comes to pitches and things that Kabam think they are putting in game. I'll have to see whether or not it works. To be honest, it worked before when Kabam ran this. It was kind of weird that they changed back from it, but we'll see on this. So yeah, Crashed John, who my face is covering at the moment, is the person that said that it's going to mean is more availability into the mode or into Gladiator Circuit. Whilst in Gladiator Circuit, there's been no promises about more tiers in Gladiator Circuit, like an extra tier to Uru. They have to run the numbers, they have to check the data and see how many players are making that jump up from Victory Track to Gladiator Circuit. So they're probably, I think he said about 3 seasons to kind of give that particular idea to find out. Season 19, the meta of Battlegrounds will likely be on the forums in a moment, or has already gone live. And seeding will work as the highest you can get back into it, because if you know Victory Track seeding means that you go back in at a certain level. It's Diamond, apparently, Diamond 5. And it's going to be then, I think they said something about 8 tiers, not 6 of the downgrade on seeding. We'll have to have a look more at that if there's a particular post to it. That was that, and that's fine. Kabam did go over right here the changes to progression, which will be stuff like 2 to get out of bronze, and then it goes up to like 3 to get out of silver. I think the process is actually not too bad. I'm hoping to run this next month, and well, I'm hoping next week to get back into this, but it is my moving house week, which is not a great week to start. So I'll kind of look to. I have to do it because I want that Devdus Vision piece. Don't we all? So you have to do it. It gives a good time to test it out, and as long as Kabam have done a better job to make it more accessible and fun, then yeah, that can only be a good thing. But there are more tiers. They're also with more tiers, which we said, and showcase. There's more trophy tokens, which is that 9,400 trophy tokens for that. And I think that's really that on the subject of Battlegrounds. So this is the thing that if you've been watching the channel, I've been doing this kind of teasing thing. I did say like Kabam have got something up their sleeves, which if they put into game is going to be a fantastic thing for players. And the daily super event is going to be just that. As this is a limited time thing, I will be pointing out of where you can get a lot of rewards if Kabam run it for 365 days of a year. Like if I say they run it for 365 days, obviously they're not, but if they would, you're going to see some nice stuff. But even from the point of this running for what is a month effectively, or 20 days, or however long this runs, you are still able to pick up a huge amount of stuff. It's like what Kabam have done is taken everything from the 22-hour solo events and other objectives which are now gone and really made them just like super buffed and super amazing. So that is something we're going to be talking about in this segment right here. So this is not a mapping of rewards, but you can get some decent stuff for your account as time goes on. Low investment of time, maximum return on resources. Kabam also did touch upon something where it's very real, and how, I'm not saying Kabam have been out of touch, but they are now understanding the touch. Mobile gaming is very much now a relentless grind of a game, and that is an issue. Units, battlegrounds, arena farming, content grinding, doing other event quests in game, side quests. There's so many things to consider in incursions. I'm probably forgetting other modes. But there's a lot of things to do in game, and also there's a lot of, I think, people then go away from the game when it comes to feeling that relentless grind, and this is when people can burn out from the game. So hopefully Kabam continue this particular methodology to go, okay, and here's the thing about the this particular event is you go in around about 30 minutes worth of work, and you're able to get loads of fantastic rewards. We'll have a look at them in a minute. But this is all about simplifying a process, and you will be doing content in game and find that you've already done the event. That's how Kabam have kind of phrased this and described this. So the events that are going are 22-hour solo events. Those event milestones are going. 22-hour solo event ranked rewards. 7-hour solo event milestones, 7-hour solo event ranked rewards. 24-hour login crystals still remain in the web store. So I don't know what's happening with the dailies then. Does that mean the dailies are going? That's interesting then. Because I didn't probably read it. I'm going to have to look a bit more details. But the 24-hour login crystal still remains in the web store. Okay. So I don't know. I don't know what's happening with that. That's weird then. I love those dailies. They might be going then, or they'll be repositioned. I'll have to check in a minute. When I was watching the live stream, I didn't twig on this one, but what I did twig about was the 4-hour login crystal, because that means something to me. That those I grab a lot of, and I do usher in hoarding them, but the collection method is getting better, which is great. It's a W. Daily objectives are just weird at the moment. Weekly objectives are just weird at the moment because the rewards are like Cavalier crystals for those that are Valiant, and then again, it just doesn't work out. Weekly logging calendar, that's weird. Well, I don't know, because then they've shifted the things like Paragon shards, but I don't know if they give a kind of a good idea of where they go. So this is it right here. Like, not to kind of jump around a bit, but yeah, this is what the new kind of super event will look like. I love the artwork, and I think it's pretty sick the way they've kind of put it together. But it's where everything is. Like, there's the free uncollected. This is uncollected, by the way. I'll jump to, well, no, I'll keep it on it. We'll talk about things as we go. So this is the uncollected, but this is the baseline for the event. You get 30 units. So you do get a buff of units. There's a buff of units for 5 units, which is fantastic if that's the case. Gives so much. It only gives so much more. But if you kind of like take, let's should we do calculations with it? Let's do a bit of calculations, shall we? 365 times 5 it's an additional 1,825 units that you can be picking up on a daily basis, which is nice. And that's for everyone, by the way. This is not just uncollected. It's kind of like across the progressions. 18,000. Oh, I thought they are tier 5 basics fragments. That's good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-star signature stones, generic ones, nice, and a choice of what seems to be tier 5 class catalyst fragment crystals. And then from a Cavalier's perspective, which is good. The other day, M asked me the question and said, well, where do I get these tier 5 class catalysts from? I don't do this or don't do that. That content is kind of like above me. But the advantage is if she just does this event on a daily basis, she's able to choose 6,750 tier 5 class catalyst fragments as a nexus. So at least she'll be able to target something to then bring her account further up. The way that Kabam are talking about a lot of these events is horizontal, as opposed to like that way. It's horizontal. So what this does is it kind of brings your account up, and that can be really good over the course of a month, year, whatever it is. You can find that you've gone up a progression just by logging in daily and doing about 30 minutes worth of work. I'm not saying that's the case. It's just on the face of it, that's how it looks like. Even at a baseline at Cavalier, you're picking up 207-star shards. Now, if Kabam were to run it for a year, on calculation, you would get, do I have the calculator? Yeah, I do. Calculator right there. So yeah, if, by the way, Kabam are not running it for a year, but I'm just saying hypothetically, if they ran it for a year, for those that are Cavalier, 200 times 365 equals 73,000. Oh, it's more. I thought it was 2, but it's more than for Cavalier. Which of course, if you do your maths, divide that by 15,000 equals 4.86, and nearly 5 free 7-star five free 7 stars over the course of the year. Like, if Kabam commit to this to a year, that's amazing. For Cavalier, you just wait till you see Valiants. That's when things get super spicy. But still, this particular event, I mean, not even for the gold perspective, 120,000 gold. Like, we'll kind of come back to calculations of that. I'll do a video breaking this down a bit more. I just don't want to make this the full kind of like coverage of this, because there's other stuff. There's other stuff, believe it or not, to talk about, including July 4th deals and other things like that. But you can see, like, as it progresses on, Thronebreaker, get good stuff, 300 7-star shards. But as I said, they're just doing this for a very short space of time, for the 24th to the 22nd, 24th of June to the 22nd of July. If they run it further, if they run it for an entire year, as we said, it looks great. So they could change it, and they need to have a look at data first. Something Kabam have stressed is that if you just go in and just level up some champions and bugger off again from your account, it does present like some very negative impact to the community, in that it doesn't show participation. What this should inspire people to do is come back to the game, because you'll make gains by logging in, by playing about 30 minutes. Granted, if you're just coming in to play 1 hour a day, I think that's fine. But if you're just coming in, leveling up champions and doing this event within 1 to 2 minutes, which, to be honest, you could actually do just by leveling up a champion, then it does present, I can imagine that Kabam won't continue this on. So I would encourage people, number one, to stick around, just do some stuff in game and do this event, which will be a very easy thing. And number two, if you're a new player or a player with another account coming back to the game, make sure on it for about an hour, just so you don't, just so Kabam don't look at this and go, people are just logging on, doing the minimum amount of work and then buggering off again. However, though, you could literally do that, and that's the thing, isn't it? You could, and this is the thing about, I'll be trying to like talk about in a video later on, is, well, if you log in, you get your 30 units, you do that for 365 days a year, you get 10,000 units. Those 10,000 units could literally be invested into your banquet event. Like, that's how easy this is. This is how fantastic this is. I'm a big advocate of this, these type of events, but I don't know how Kabam will see it if they look at the data and see those things and go, oh, it's doom and gloom. Not doom and gloom, but it's kind of like, oh, we can't allow this to be a thing. This event needs to be a thing. We need this, Kabam, by the way. Anyway, I forgot to talk about 4-hour crystals. They're there. 1, 2, 3, 4. You get 4 in total per day. Not sure if I overly agree with that, but unless they have like a better rarity drop of some things, it's just that if we're talking about 4 hours, well, I suppose actually, no, I will give Kabam the benefit of the doubt. That's 16 hours, isn't it? That's 16 hours of playtime. Can you really say that you play the game for 16 hours a day, giving you 8 hours of sleep? I don't know if that's the case, but I think that's probably rings true about 4 3-hour crystals, 4-hour crystals a day. So that's good. What else? We're going to move on because time's ticking. With Valiant still looks good. Like, it's great reward, 750. I think when I did the calculations, it's about 18 7 stars per year if we get that. I've got to do the calculation just to kind of like show you. So if you take the 750 per day, 750 7-star shards a day, that is insane. That's insane amounts. Say if Kabam ran it for a year, that's 273,000 shards divided by 15,000. 18.257 stars a year for free. Again, if Kabam ran it for a year. Not saying they will or won't, but if they did. It's good to see a level 5 health potion in the Valiant. That's something that we needed to be in there. So great. I'm glad Kabam have buffed that. And of course, other things like tier 4 alpha right there. That's in there. Titan crystal shards. I can't remember all the calculations were there, but I think it worked out quite nicely. But all this stuff is literally just like free stuff. Like, it is just like free stuff that's been added in. So it's yeah, great news, but as I said, I want Kabam to run this like as a standard. I want this as a standard, but they need to look at the data. They may nerf some stuff, they may not. but it is meant to be a horizontal progression to get people, you know, rocking and rolling with the game. We're going to move on quickly because there are so many other things to talk about. There's the furthest push further supply drop. I thought this was for new people, but it's not. It's just like a little added extra. That's what the calendar looks like. Seeing that Paragon and Valiant players get 7-star shards. They get some dust, tier 2 dust, a 7-star on day 7, and some Valiant crystals, which is nice. Gives me some vibes that we could be seeing some better stuff down the line as freebies go out to the community. And great for lower players as well. There's some nice stuff there. Thoughts on that in the comments. Got to move on now to Sinister Sideshow. This is going to be your July 4th deals, rebranded to be called Sinister Sideshow. Or Sinister's Sentinel Sideshow. This is what Kabam Crash has said is going to be high value things. These are going to take away from the Necropolis as being the meta items to going to go for. So this is going to be the meta. These deals here, the meta. They're also going to be high value, which I think we've kind of guessed that. New formats for cash offers, push the next progression. So Kabam are going to offer you, if you're an uncollected player, proven to uncollected, you'll get opportunity to push up to progressions. Pay for your progression. Look, it's up to you if you want that. Some people don't want that. Some people don't. It depends how you want to, you know, play in the game. There's also going to be a free copy of Mr. Sinister. You get a free Mr. Sinister 6-star and lower rarities for different players. It's a great champion to grab. And also the shared limits are going to be now 4. I don't know if they were more than that. I think they were 5, but now they're 4. But yeah, they're going to be shared limits at web store, meaning we're back to limit of 4. So there you go. With that, there's also a big surprise and a unit spend event. So there's a unit spend event. The more you spend in the units, you'll get a 7-star Weapon X. Lucky you, which is really annoying because I don't have enough units. And that's on me, but I've had this house stuff has taken up too much of my life, as well as other things as well. So yeah, that's all positive news. There was one final thing that was mentioned on the live stream, apart from the fact that there was a promo code, which is there. Kabam did say that they are looking to tinker with Battlegrounds matchmaking, but I can't reveal it just yet because it might be exploited. We'll have to find out more about that, and it'll probably be something that if they said, oh, by the way, it's going to be based on rating, then you'd be like, well, I'll just kind of lower down my rating and just use 5 stars to get easier matchups. You know, I'm not saying that is what's happening. I'm just saying that's how people take advantage of those particular situations when Kabam announce stuff that they could, you know, people can exploit the system. Anyway, that has been all the details. As I said, full details in the description. Thank you very much for watching this video. Really insightful stuff. I'm going to be breaking down some more of this in future videos because 17 or 18 minutes, as much as it's great to break down an hour's live stream into 18 minutes, there's still more details that need to be added to context and other things like that. Anyway, thanks for watching. Check out some other content. And what are your thoughts? Have them in the comments.